One of the most annoying problems in ranked has got to be calling for a 5-man rush. You peek out B main, you get smoked off, you get hit with like a sage slow or something, and everyone just standing in B main looking at each other. There's like this feeling that you're screwed, like you're all scared and you're standing inside of B main. No one knows what to do. So like, what is this fear that you have? Like, why is your team not willing to just back up and run around and figure out like a different way to do the hit? The reason for this is space. So let's talk about space. I'm gonna keep using Ascent as the example. Space is something that always changes throughout the round, but in the very beginning of the round, your space is defined by the barriers. So you can think of everything behind the red barriers as attacker space, everything behind the blue barriers as defender space, and then everything between red and blue as neutral space. Some maps call it main, some maps have it as long, short, but essentially it's all neutral space. I'll mark defender space as blue, neutral space as white, and then attacker space is red. And the question is, why should you care about it? So let's think about it in a perspective where you're a defender and you care about the space, but your attackers don't care about the space. If you have a Cypher cam in that B main window and it's looking at everything, you have a lot of freedom. You could literally do whatever you want. Your team could just stand in B main, knife out, start watching TikToks. It doesn't matter because you know for a fact that they are not in B main. That neutral space changes from white to blue. So to give this like a solid definition, it would be when defenders get neutral space, attackers become further from the site and it becomes harder to take. This definition is the reason why you can just go on your phone and start scrolling. If you think about it from an attacker perspective, you care about the neutral space, you take it, and the defense doesn't care at all. You're now closer to the site and it becomes easier to take for two reasons. You have less to clear, and now the distance you have to travel to site is a lot shorter. And at the same time, you're denying what the defenders could have had. They no longer have that freedom. They're forced to focus up. Put your phone down. There's a chance you're going to war. It's a lot easier to understand how nice it feels to have space when you're on defense. You just have no responsibility, pure freedom. And on attack, it's harder to feel, but you are denying defender freedom. These guys just can't run around as they like anymore. So to go back to the initial problem, why all 5 of you are just standing in B main scared is because instinctually you know what the map looks like for both of you. Compare what the map looks like in the beginning when everyone has their barriers set, and as soon as you show 5 B main, all of this changes. The defender space and neutral space starts changing. The defenders on A main know that there's no more attacker space on A, and your neutral space might be on mid, might not be, but your options are getting more limited. Essentially, the walls are closing in and you have no idea what to do about it. If you swing into B main and Cypher camera sees all 5 of you, just smile for the camera, bro. It's over. You better win this push or you're getting pinched from all sides. So to avoid ending up in this scared and stuck position, if you're calling for the fast exec, you have to get it right. And you're stuck because you're not doing enough to take the space. This one smoke blocking your team is like 7 sage walls. You hit the trip, someone dies, and everyone's throwing a funeral for the boy that just died instead of trading. Take revenge. You have to do something. The space that you want to take isn't free. And if you want it, you have to commit enough resources. Your trash rush ends with 2 people dying, everyone has util, and 3 people are still stuck in main. So to move on from your trash rush, I'm just going to show what a good rush looks like. Just count the util that these guys are using. My Sova's darting, my KO's knifing, both KO flashes popping on site, a jet smoke for people to run into, I'm a proc dash, Cypher cages for us to get out, a molly in heaven to stop the flood. It doesn't matter whether or not it connects onto someone. It's just that if it does, it works out for you. Overloading util like that is going to give you the best chance of getting onto site and put you in a good position to stop floods. Like in the post round, you see the molly did damage, but did you know it's going to do damage before? No, not really. Did the Cypher know his cage was going to block a Sova dart? Not 100%, but it ended up helping. Now that you've done it, you're not getting spammed. Like if Cypher doesn't throw that cage, Sam doesn't get that spot to hide in, and he can get spammed by the jet through tree, and the round could look completely different. So just throw as much as you can. There was a Reyna trying to flat out heaven with her eye, but she couldn't do it quickly because of the molly, and she was pushed back because of the flashes. And same for the jet. She was tree, was smoked off, and even if she took a timing outside of the smoke, she's getting flashed. So the reason the high elo rushes look so good is because everyone understands the 2 goals: getting on site as fast as possible and then killing everyone on site. You gotta understand, rushing is a very greedy thing. You're asking to take neutral space and defender space all in one go. You're asking for 2 things that don't belong to you, being main and site. Defenders don't even want to let you have one, so you have to be willing to pay for it. And to do something greedy, you gotta pay up. If you're being cheap with swinging and util, you're not gonna get what you want. And you can't just dry swing, rely on the power of friendship, and hope you get everything. You have to use your util, even if you don't know if it's going to connect onto someone. If there's a chance that it helps, it's just a bonus that it kills someone. The question of how to throw your util is something you only know from experience or watching other people play. Like some basics are flashing through a smoke, raise nading, or shock darting where you think senti util is. Using mobility over stuff like mollies or sage slow, but there's a lot of different ways to counter each type of util or each type of defense. The longer you take to finish your exec, the more time defenders have to rotate over from the other sites. Like you want to fight 2 people on site, you don't want to fight 5. 2 people staring down the choke you're running through is acceptable. All 5 is unplayable. That's why people run it down as soon as barriers drop. It's the most likely time where there's only 2 people on site. If you're calling for a rush, I better see all 5 people there. I don't want to see this 4-1 nonsense. That extra player is the extra guy with the gun. This contributes to crossfires when you're done with the plant. This is another person that can trade you. I know what your 1 wants to do. Your 1 wants to anchor somewhere and make sure you're not getting flanked. But what is your anchor going to do when they're getting flanked by 3 people? I'm just going to lose 1 for fun on the other side of the map because he's getting 3v1'd. Even if your 1 hears people rotating off of his side, your team is not going to have enough for a second exec if they're really committing to a rush. Like you should be launching everything you have so there's no chance you get to do it again. If you get a good rush off, your map should feel like this. You have all the site you just took, you have all of the main behind it, and you still have the attacker space that you started with. The map should look like it's been rotated over, and now mid has become the neutral space, and defenders only have what they're holding on the other side.